Hey guys, Johnny H here with Jax the Mighty, who's apparently going to try to steal my spotlight. Come on, buddy. Come on. Over this way. Good boy. Come on. So, it is time. It's week 5 of the NFL. It's time for my picks. This video is not going to include any Madden games. Jax, come on, man. Yeah, you. Sadly, because of school, I didn't have time to include them. And there is a controversy right now between myself and Drop the Mic. Our total win-loss records for right and wrong are skewed a little bit. His records, come on, man. His records are... This is what I like about this. I don't do retakes unless I absolutely have to. Down. Okay. So his win-loss record and my win-loss record, yeah, you, are different. They're coming out different. So we're going to revisit all of the picks we made until we both get on the same page. So I won't be putting any of that stuff in it. I am going to keep track of it though. But I gotta post this video real quick. I just got back from a meeting at my church. So, yeah. So, everybody, let's start with the Thursday night game, an NFC West matchup. Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. I really wanted to make this game my upset special. I really did. But the fact that Carson Palmer suffered a concussion against the Rams, and there's a really good chance of him not playing and Drew Stanton starting instead, kind of kills it being an upset special. I mean, Stanton played really well for the Cardinals last year, but then again, they had about 4 quarterbacks last year started who played well, which is like an anomaly in the NFL. Great depth there, I guess, or just plain luck. Whereas San Francisco, not a fan of Gabbert. I think if they lose, it's because he's going to blow the game for him. Like that stupid interception against Dallas he threw. The guy's garbage. They really need to start Kaepernick. Even though it's a good defense, I think Drew Stanton will hold them back and limit them. So I'm going to go with San Francisco at home in Santa Clara. Okay, guys, here's my pick for the game of the week. It's not going to be the most sexiest choice of the games. However, it is a battle between two teams that are geographically located very close to each other. So that's why I think this is going to be a great matchup that should come down to the very end. Washington Redskins at the Baltimore Ravens in the Battle of the Beltway. Initially, I looked at the matchup and I was thinking, man, this could really be a good Redskin upset. But I don't fully trust Kirk Cousins yet. He's shown some good chemistry with D-Jax. But other than that, I really don't have too much faith in him. The running back as well is sketchy for Washington. Whereas the Ravens, it's either one week Mike Wallace or the next week Steve Smith Sr., who have really, really great chemistry with Joe Flacco. So, and with the running backs, Terrence West did a heck of a job filling in for Justin Forsett this week. So either way, whichever one of those two plays, they usually do well. So I gotta go with Baltimore Ravens at home. New England Patriots at the Cleveland Browns. And I really, really feel sorry for the Cleveland Browns this week. They're going to face a New England Patriots in which Tom Brady is finally returning, and the team lost to Buffalo last week. So they're already going to be mad about that loss. Sorry, I almost said win. That loss. And now Brady's going to be coming into the league with a chip on his shoulder, all mad. So I really feel sorry for Cleveland. I don't think there's a thing that the Browns are going to do to be able to stop the Patriots. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be the New England Patriots beating them all day. Philadelphia Eagles at the Detroit Lions, and this could be a trap game for the Philadelphia Eagles, but from what they've shown this year so far, I don't think it will. Carson Wentz looks to be like the real deal, and Detroit is still trying to figure out what they are. I think Wentz should be able to pass on them. Matthews should be able to run on them. So, hop aboard the Wentz wagon, everybody. I'm going with the Eagles in Detroit. Chicago Bears at the Indianapolis Colts, and I really don't know what to think of the Colts. 1-3? Come on, guys. Really? You're better than that? If they can't beat the Chicago Bears when the Bears are coming to Lucas Oil Stadium, there are big problems in Indianapolis. Big problems. Even though Hoyer looked good, he didn't look bad, he didn't look great for Chicago last week. To me, it looked like a step up from Cutler. And the running back in there, I can't remember his name, who replaced Langford, looked pretty good as well. But this is in Indianapolis, and I'm picking this game because this is a must-win game for the Colts. Their division isn't the strongest, but still, they need to do something to get back on track. So I have to go with Indianapolis here. Jax would like to present winning by a whisker. Now that it's done, he's like, I'm not interested anymore. Just watch. Tennessee Titans at Miami Dolphins. Tennessee Titans or Miami Dolphins, Jax? Well, it looks like Jax has gone with the Tennessee Titans. Houston Texans at the Minnesota Vikings. The Texans are first place in their division, as well as the Vikings are in theirs. However, the Vikings have lost Adrian Peterson, but to counter that, the Texans have lost J.J. Watt. I think there's more for the Vikings to lose in this game because they got the Packers real close, right up their behinds, whereas the Texans division isn't as strong. If Houston would lose this game, it wouldn't be too big of a deal. I think with trying to keep pace with the Packers and staying ahead of them, I think that will be the determining factor, and the Vikings will want this game more. Bradford's played pretty good, better than I thought he has this year. He's really getting a good connection with Stefon Diggs, and even mixing Kyle Rudolph in there as well, where Osweiler hasn't been playing great, but he hasn't been playing bad either, and his connection with Hopkins. I think the defense should shut down Lamar Miller and make Osweiler beat them, and he won't be able to do it, so I am going with the Minnesota Vikings. New York Jets at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and going into this year, I had high hopes for the Jets that they would be able to compete with the Patriots, especially with Brady's suspension. However, they have failed miserably. Very, very, very underachieving team considering the weapons they have on offense. And it actually turned out the Buffalo Bills looked like they might be that team to compete with the Patriots, at least this early on. Whereas the Steelers, ever since they got embarrassed by Philadelphia, it looks like that woke them up. They completely embarrassed Kansas City Sunday night. And I think they're going to do the same thing to New York because they're not going to have anybody to stop Big Ben to Antonio Brown or Marcus Wheaton for that matter. Mix that in with Le'Veon Bell, and you have a recipe for disaster for New York and success for Pittsburgh. I'm going with the Steelers. And now, my upset special of the week. Atlanta Falcons versus the Denver Broncos. The Falcons have had an insane offense this year, especially Julio Jones last week. 300 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. That's crazy, crazy numbers right there. Whereas the Denver defense, on the other hand, Their offense is a little shaky, but their defense has been locked down like it was last year. This is another case of great offense versus great defense. Usually defense wins that battle. I mean, Paxton Lynch, when he stepped in for Denver on offense, he actually looked pretty good. So they might not be hurting too much at the quarterback position. However, this is my upset special, and I think the high-flying Falcons offense, I would have never thought would say that this season. I think the offense of the Falcons upsets the defense of the Broncos. Matt Ryan is going to need to have a good day. Julio Jones is going to need to get involved here. And Coleman, pound the rock, and you got this. I'm going with the Falcons. Cincinnati Bengals at the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if Dez Bryant's going to play for Dallas or not. I'm not really sure how severe his injury is, but I don't know if they really need him. Cincinnati has played very, very shaky. They look decent one week, horrible the next, and then okay after that. Whereas Dallas has looked pretty consistent. Dak Prescott looks like the real deal, just like Carson Wentz. He is leading this team in a very, very good way, unlike most rookies lead their teams. Ezekiel Elliott looks legit. He is a monster on the ground. And Williams and Beasley for Dallas, their wide receivers, have stepped up big time with Bryant's injury. I don't know if Dalton and A.J. Green will be enough to win this game for him. Hill and Giovanni Bernard, the running backs, have been very shaky this year, and that's really hurt Cincinnati's ability on offense. So I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys. Buffalo Bills at the Los Angeles Rams. And going into this video, in fact, right before I hit record, I decided I was originally going to go with Buffalo here. But no, I'm changing it because I technically didn't make it an official pick. I am going with Los Angeles here. Let's look at the teams the Rams have beaten so far. They have beaten Seattle. They just handed it to them. They have beaten Arizona. Two good teams. Arizona whenever they wake up. But still, they still have a good offense and a good defense. And then Tampa Bay, who's still trying to figure things out. Yeah, Buffalo beat New England, and they're probably on their high horse right now. So this spells trap game for the Buffalo Bills 100%, and I'm going to take the Rams on the trap game. Buffalo's going to fall into it. They now no longer have Sammy Watkins, so if they shut down Shady McCoy, good luck, Tyrod Taylor. You don't really have that great weapons in Buffalo. I'm going with that Rams defense holding the Bills off just enough so their offense can do something. Rams all the way in this one. San Diego Chargers at the Oakland Raiders, and this to me was the hardest game to pick this week. Both offenses teams barely pulled it out this week. They both have the capabilities of having a high-powered offense. Both defenses are suspect, and both teams also have the capabilities of being a very poor scoring offense. They're mirror images of themselves, but like I say every week, I really think Oakland's going to win the West. And if Denver loses this week like I think they will, Oakland will jump on this chance. I think Carr's going to be in love with Crabtree this week like he was last week. Cooper's going to get in on the action as well. Maybe Murray hits 75 yards and a touchdown. Whereas Phillip Rivers, he's going to keep pace with them. But I think at the end they're going to fall short. So, going with the Oakland Raiders. Now that all the day games are over, it's time for some Sunday night football. New York Giants at the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. Eli and his boys are going up against Rodgers and his crew. Should be a good game. Sharp, the rookie for the Giants, has been lighting it up this year. Odell Beckham, has anybody seen him? I mean, seriously, what has he done this year? as well as the Giants rushing game. That really needs to wake up. But in this one, I'm going to give the edge to the Packers just because it's in Green Bay at Lambeau Field. And they're going to need to keep up with the Vikings as well. So I'm going with the Pack. Last game of the week, and it's always Monday Night Football. This week, we have an NFC South divisional matchup. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Carolina Panthers. And this, for me, is a really, really tricky one because Cam Newton suffered a concussion last week, and they don't know if he's going to play. I think if he plays, Carolina does win. But I don't know. It's just really hard. There's a big part of me that wants to say take the safe bet, go the Buccaneers. Cam might not play. But however, he got hurt on Sunday, and he doesn't play until Monday night. That's 8 days pretty much to get ready. So I'm thinking he can pass the concussion protocol from in 8 days. So I'm going to take a gamble here and go with the Carolina Panthers winning Monday night. Cam doesn't have a great game. He doesn't need to have a great game. He just needs to manage the game, not take any hits, and not make any stupid decisions. Going with Cam and the Panthers. Well, there you have it. My NFL picks for the 5th week of the 2016 season. Notice Jackson Lady gone. I give the guy his own segment, and he wants to hog the opening. I guess he thinks this is his show now. Some people might agree with that. But until next time, guys, Johnny H.